It's 5:30. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Our first item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sarah, will you read our mission statement?
The mission of the Marshall Public School District is to educate, support, and prepare all learners for success.
Thank you. Our next item is approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Sarah Runcie and a second by Bill to approve the agenda. Any additions or corrections? If not, I'll call for the vote. And the agenda is approved. Our next item is Tiger Spotlight, our student recognitions. This is my favorite meeting of the month, as we get to recognize a student from each building. There's 5 of them total. And how we're going to do this, when your name is called, I just want you to stand and we will read a bio of why you were nominated. And then at the end, I want everybody back there by that Tiger banner and we'll take your picture. So we're going to start with Anne Marie. She's going to do Parksides.
So with Parkside, Salman Ahmed, is he here? Okay, we'll read about him anyways. Nominated by Mrs. Lisi, Salman Ahmed was selected as this month's star writer because his writing has continued to improve throughout this school year. This reflects his dedication to his letter formation and sentence structure. His penmanship is legible and formed perfectly from the top line to the bottom writing lines. He does a good job completing Parkside's 5-star sentence. These sentences include a capital letter, finger spaces, ending punctuation, all while being sure he sounds out words and uses neat handwriting. He is a sweet boy who is always doing his best and working hard to become an excellent student all around. He enjoys writing and it shows. He comes up with wonderful ideas to share on paper. Salman is very rewarding of this nomination as he has grown in his education this year.
Congratulations.
Great. And I'm going to read for Southview, Oliver Hoppy, who was nominated by Miss Mua. Oliver comes to school ready to work every morning. He knows our routine and our expectations in my classroom and is a great role model for his peers. He will help out without me even having to ask him. Oliver works hard at everything I assign him. He puts his full effort into his work and makes sure that it is done correctly before putting it away. He is not afraid to ask questions, and he is not afraid to participate in new activities in class. Oliver has done an amazing job fully participating in our bar activities every week and truly taking the time to get to know his classmates. And I know that he's a great brother, too.
Congratulations. And from the middle school, Auburn Ramos Lopez. Did I pronounce your first name right?
It's Auberon.
Auberon, okay. Nominated by 7th grade teachers. We are pleased to recognize Auberon Lopez, who has been a remarkable student in our classes during the first quarter. We have had the privilege to observe Auberon's growth and development both academically and personally. His respectful demeanor, hardworking nature, and kindness have set him apart as a role model among his peers. Throughout his time in our classrooms, Auberon has consistently demonstrated a strong work ethic. He approaches every assignment with dedication and an eagerness to learn. For instance, during our recent project on character analysis, he took the initiative to lead his group, ensuring that his classmates felt included and understood the assignment. His ability to collaborate effectively while also taking responsibility for his own work exemplifies his dependability and leadership skills. We are so proud of Auberon, and we can't wait to see his accomplishments throughout the rest of this school year. Congratulations.
And from the high school, Perfect. Good timing. So from the high school, we have Jose Alfredo Hernandez, nominated by Mrs. Loft. At the end of last school year and at the start of this school year, our MPS staff was fortunate to listen to the stories of our ELL students who participated on the ELL student panel. One of the students who participated in all 3 of the student panels was Jose. Jose is a 10th grader who has been in the United States for 1 year after encountering a challenging journey to meet up with family members in Marshall. Jose's English has grown quickly throughout his hard work and dedication to his classes. His leadership skills were highlighted as he worked in the Tiger Cafe, and by the end of the school year, he had earned the role of manager of his shift. Jose is a great classmate who is kind, considerate, helpful, and happy to have this learning opportunity at Marshall High School.
I have the Area Learning Center, Liesel Gunderson. Liesel, I had the privilege of working with your mom at Westside School for a few years, and she did a great job with our kids. Liz. Liesel, nominated by Mr. Klein. Liesel is the most caring, kind, and compassionate student at Marshall ALC. She consistently shows consideration and respect to classmates, faculty, and staff. Liesel's pleasant demeanor is the highlight of most teachers' school days. She also works hard at remaining engaged and contributing to our classrooms. Congratulations, Liesel.
All you students will meet me back there by that banner.
Yeah, students go in the back. We'll take a picture. Parents, if you want to get up and take some pictures during this time, you're welcome to do so as well.
Jose.
Jose, you couldn't have timed that better. It's like a grand entrance coming in.
We get out of the way.
Good job, guys.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
Let's give them one more hand.
Great job, you guys.
It's awesome. Parents, you are welcome to stay for the entire meeting if you like, but we would not consider it rude if you want to leave.
I wouldn't blame you if you want.
Thank you.
Our next item is a public forum. Is there anybody from the public want to approach the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to our presentation from the Parent Student Connector Program. Beth, are you going to introduce?
I sure am.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Hello.
We don't bite.
Right. All right, so I'm very honored as well as excited to have our parent-student connectors join us this evening for the school board meeting. Once again, continuing our theme of one district, many voices. These guys play a huge part in it when it comes to our multilingual learners and their families. So I'm going to let them go ahead and introduce themselves.
Hi
I would say
everyone,
if
my
you can
name is
use the
Jesus
microphone.
Reyes.
Use the microphone.
Yeah.
Not that we can't hear you, but then the viewers on TV can hear you.
You're live.
Right.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Jesús Reyes. Soy conector de papás y estudiantes en las escuelas públicas de Marshall. Hi, everyone. My name is Jesus Reyes. I'm parent and student connector for Marshall School District.
Hi, magacayga Mahdi waaye. Waxaa parent student connector. My name is Hani Osman. I'm Somali parent student connector.
Halage, yimi me siko, yamajora, chopomopa, le jobu. Good afternoon, my name is C, and I help with parents in school.
Hi, my name is Daniela Solis. I'm a parent student connector.
Hello, Gode. Yemi Kishi, the Yakiora, Chopumba, the Chopo Mascora, for Dibatora. Good afternoon, my name is Akishi, and I'm parent student connector for our current families.
So we wanted to share with you, what does their role look like? They have a very unique role in our district. They work with all levels. They work in all of our buildings, so pre-K through 12th grade. They work with all grade levels, so and all administrators. So it's a very unique role, one of the only ones in the district that works with everyone, essentially. So these are just a few of the things. We came up with a list together. What does their role look like? Of course, it depends on the day. Every day is very, very different. In the summer, of course, registration is huge. They help all of our families get registered or do their verification for the students that they have in their families. And of course, they do registration throughout the school year as new families join us. Transportation is a huge part as well, making sure that the families have signed their children up so they can receive transportation, so their kids can receive transportation. Parent-teacher conferences are huge. They not only are their interpreters, but then they also have to find people to help them. I think at Parkside, did we have 5 Spanish interpreters just for one conference? So we need to make sure we have enough manpower because we have, as you know, multiple conferences going on at once. So that's super busy for them. Referrals, IEP meetings, all things special education they help out with. Home visits for our early childhood families. They go when there is a home visit, when the teacher is going into the home to provide services, they have to go with because they, of course, need to interpret and translate. Early childhood screenings, they need to be there to help the parents and the kids as well. And then, of course, school situations that arise throughout the day. Their mornings are very, very busy. They'll get phone calls from all of the admin assistants. These students, we did not hear from the families, so then they're connecting with the families, so they are really that bridge between our families and the school. And then, of course, summer school. So these are just a few of the things they help out with. Anything you can think of, they probably do it in the district, right? Oh, of course, advocates for our families. Forgot we added that in. So we've gone over this once before, but again, as of last Friday, we are at 32 different languages spoken in our school. So I thought it would be interesting. Let's look at the breakdown of what. So we have 1,970 students that parents have marked that they speak English. Now, know that parents can mark more than one language as well, but of course, English is most widely spoken. The second highest is Spanish with 422 kids. Karen is 274, and then Somali is 117. So just interesting statistics. Here, where are our families from? We do get this question a lot, especially our Hispanic families. Do they all come from Mexico? No, not at all. You can see the list of families. We've had more and more from Central and South America recently. And then our Karen families come primarily from Thailand or Burma or Myanmar. Yep. Did I say that right? Okay. And then our Somali families, of course, from Somalia. They wanted to share with you some of the cultural differences. That is a big part of their job as well. We have things in the school that their families maybe have never experienced before in their home countries. So that is a lot of their work, having the parents and the families really understand how does school work in the United States. So they're going to share with you some things that are different from their home country as compared to the United States and how they work through those differences. So the first one is attendance. Who wants to talk on attendance?
Something I can share a little bit, in Mexico, attendance, or in some other countries from Central America, they don't really do like, how to say, like school. You know, they don't really, I don't want to say that the word, like they don't really care about education, or like, so attendance is not like really important for some of the families we help.
Someone was share about being tardy. Oh, that's different.
You have a 15-minute gap wait. If you're not there in 15 minutes, when the bell rings, the doors close and you're not allowed to go in anymore. Like you're not allowed. Here, they're not used. When we tell them like you can still bring your child if they're an hour too late, they're like, how? If they don't you close the doors? I'm like, no, they can still come to school. Like they're still allowed, because over there you're not there. By the time the bell rings, you're not allowed to go in.
Go ahead. Differences with health and vaccines.
Again, help in our country, or like some other countries or for the families we help, they don't focus in to check vaccinations, or like really care about the students to about the health. You know, here when we help the families, they come in with no immunizations. So in some part, we working with the families and encourage to like, we give it like 30 days after the school, and working working a little bit with the health department to set up an appointment. So working a little bit with the ladies working there, working a little bit with start getting the immunizations.
So health-wise, like in school, like general health, they do care about, but like vaccination and those stuff aren't mandatory, because in refugee camp they don't necessarily have access to those, like for everybody. Yeah.
We didn't mention that, but they work very, very closely with our nurses as well for lots of different issues, especially vaccinations is huge. Conferences.
So all of our families are from refugee camp, and because the parent generations didn't really get to go to school because of the war in this the homeland, and so they often do school in Jogo, or when we were in the refugee camp, we don't have conferences because teacher is really, really highly regarded and really trusted. So like parent doesn't have to worry about it. It's like teacher's job. So it's like parents entrusted their kids to the teacher. So there's no conferences. And so here sometimes our parents didn't think it's really important because like we don't have that in the refugee camp. Yeah.
I agree with Kishi. Back home, teachers used to do 100% of the job. Like if the kid needs help with something, teachers used to do it. But here, like they tell the parents, like this is what your child needs to work on. So that is different for the parents. Yeah.
Conferences for our family is just a big general report to like everybody. They don't do individual conferences for each student. You're like, you're doing good, you're doing good. They don't go, like teacher sits down with parent and student, oh, they're doing wonderful. They explain everything or what they're missing or how they're working, how they're doing in school is just a general report for everybody.
Back in the home country.
Yep, back in the home country. School lunches, you have to bring your lunch, or they have people that sell lunch, and if you don't have money to buy your lunch, you just don't eat. So they don't like here that you get free lunch and free breakfast, and you still serve your kids if they're late or something. Here, over there, no, you just have to bring your money or you just don't eat.
Same thing in Thailand refugee camp. Because like breakfast is a really big thing and everybody eats like big breakfast, like a big meal, and then sometimes I eat leftover for lunch. So some students will bring their food for lunch, or some people go home and eat leftover, and some people don't. Yeah.
Transportation, there's no transportation for our families and their cultures in their hometowns. You have to find a way to get there. Taxi, bus, like the city bus, or walk miles to get to school. Depends on how far your school is.
In the refugee camp, there is no like motor vehicle. It's all walking, so you walk to school. Yeah.
Uphill both ways.
So in Thailand refugee camp, like special education is not really new to our family. There are some special education in Thailand refugee camp, but it's not up to par where it necessarily help like the students with their individual needs, and most special students that require those needs, they will group them all together and we just like bunch them up and teach them like on the same level. But there's they back in their Thailand refugee camp, there are special education program, and there are school that are separated from regular school, and sometimes that makes the students and like the parents feel different about their kids and the student about themselves. Yeah.
I would say the special education process for so many of our families is such a new concept. So these guys do a phenomenal job helping to explain there's nothing wrong with their child. There's nothing mentally wrong. We hear that. Often they think something is mentally wrong with their child. They do a great job explaining to the families, we do this because we want to help your child. And they will not be singled out. They will not be grouped together and put in a special school somewhere. So it's just really educating the parents so they understand what special ed is and how it can benefit their child.
Mostly what I see with my Somali families is like you tell them to come 8 o'clock and they will come like 8:40. So that is always struggles, and like the teachers ask me, are they coming? And sometimes they don't pick up the phone. So that is really challenge for me when I'm working with families.
Being time, I think it's like something to, we're still working with our families. And
with our parents sitting together?
yeah, yes. To encourage our families to send the kids and try to be on time every single day. And, we always do our best to communicate with the families and the families. It is really important to show up on time and the attendance too.
That's when we often laugh at, or not laugh, we giggle at, so yeah, they need to be on time. If you want them there at 8, tell them to be there at 7:30, right? And then they'll be there at 8, but cultural differences again. So with that, what questions do you have? As you can see, they really do. They work on bridging that gap. Not only are they an interpreter or a translator, depending what is being asked of them, but they really help parents understand and kids understand what is school, how does school in the United States work and look. So they are an integral part of our school district.
Very, very important to us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't have a question, but I'm just going to echo what Bill said, how important and valuable you guys are to what we do and what everybody in the district does. So
Thank you.
without you, you save time, you save energy for a lot of people, and we appreciate you so much, so.
Yep.
And Beth told us how excited you all were to be here tonight.
So
But we do
thanks.
really appreciate you
Thanks
coming.
for
This is
coming.
important information for people to know.
You
Thank you.
you did a great job.
Yeah.
Sure. We should give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Beth, do you want to let the young man in the hallway know he can come in and we'll...
Oh, are we going to read for
We'll do
him?
his again.
Oh, of course. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, what a cutie.
Thank you.
Now I have to find it again. Oh, student recognition.
Talking about time.
Right.
Come on out.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
How are you, Salman?
This is Salman Ahmed? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, welcome. Okay, I'm going to read what your teacher said about you, Salman, so we can all hear it, about what a wonderful student you are, okay? Okay. So Salman is a student at Parkside. He was nominated by Mrs. Lisi. Salman Ahmed was selected as this month's star writer because his writing has continued to improve throughout this school year. This reflects his dedication to his letter formation and sentence structure. His penmanship is legible and formed perfectly from the top line to the bottom writing lines. He does a good job completing Parkside's 5-star sentence. These sentences include a capital letter, finger spaces, ending punctuation, all while being sure he sounds out words and uses neat handwriting. He is a sweet boy who is always doing his best and working hard to become an excellent student all around. He enjoys writing and it shows. He comes up with wonderful ideas to share on paper. Salman is very rewarding of this nomination as he has grown in his education this year.
Come back here, Salman, we're going to take your picture by the tiger.
Congratulations.
Glad you
Thank
came.
you.
Yeah.
Great job, Salman.
So sweet. Cutie.
Good little guy.
Shoes match his pants and everything.
I can't get my kids to do that.
No. I get socks to match.
Uh-oh.
Stand right here. Hold your certificate, so congratulations.
Look at that.
That's a great picture.
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Oh, shoot, I got logged out. There. Our next item is approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Sarah Runcie and a second by Bill to approve the consent agenda. I will call for the vote.
Thank you.
That is
Great
approved.
job.
Next item is approval of the bills for October of 2024. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. There's a motion by myself and a second by Sarah Brink to approve the bills for October 2024. Any further discussion? None, I'll call for the vote.
You can sit down if you want.
And that is approved. Next item is a treasurer's report. Any information we need on this or?
I don't have anything, Sarah. I don't know if you do.
Okay, it's there for your perusal. Board forum, any board reports or updates? Hearing none. We'll move on to the superintendent's reports. Jeremy?
All right, I do have some things to share there. Number of things. Has been a busy month again. So I'll just go through each of the reports and highlight a couple things for you. In my report, I just want to highlight that each year, the last full week before Thanksgiving is designated as American Educators Week. As we celebrate American Educators Week this week, we just want to extend our gratitude and recognition to all of our staff members. So I know Hy-Vee blessed each of our buildings with some cookies and stuff to recognize that this week. So as we say thank you to everyone there. I also want to recognize that we recently had the elections, and with the new board members coming on, I just want to recognize after more than 50 years supporting students and community, Bill Swope is completing his last term serving the Marshall Public Schools. We talked about this on Wednesday night, but I wanted to acknowledge it in the board meeting too. After 50 years, completing that in an official capacity, and Anne Marie Vorbach also stepped in this year, filling a vacancy on our board, and has also been a great advocate for our learners. So both Bill and Anne Marie will be missed, and we appreciate their dedication and commitment as we transition to new board members in January. Parkside and Early Childhood, they highlight that in November, Parkside hosted parent-teacher conferences where families came together to discuss their child's academic progress and ways to support their growth. During those conferences, they offered parents a chance to explore resources aimed at fostering their child's social and emotional development. We encourage parents to continue using those resources at home and reach out if they need further support. At Southview, Pete highlights that the Southview PBIS team has done a great job sending out reminders to teachers on reviewing and reteaching different expectations for behaviors throughout the school year and all different locations within the school. The committee also recognizes positive behaviors for the students. One of their goals at Southview this year is around, they're working with a bar coach around completing some of the goals. And the first one that he wants to highlight is around student attendance, hoping that with the implementation of U-Time activities as part of the bar program, they will build better relationships with teachers and peers that in turn will help increase school attendance. Through monthly bar principal and coordinator PLCs, he's feeling really good about Southview's implementation progress that's been going on within about the last year. He also shares that in that work, all of the Southview students get 30-minute lesson each week from one of the 3 SEL teachers. Mrs. High teaches second graders, Mrs. Bigler teaches third graders, and Mr. Jacobson teaches fourth graders. SEL teachers utilize the second step curriculum through different situations with the students, helping build some of those skills with our younger learners. Middle school highlights a couple of things. The middle school Knowledge Bowl team has been performing exceptionally well, with all 4 teams placing in the top 6 and 3 of the teams securing first, second, and third places. So it's been really a good season for them. They also share the conservation crew has been actively testing water and reporting findings as part of a national project. That crew was new, I think, 2 years ago, and they've really been doing a lot of fun things. Middle school also highlights the Maud Hart Loveless Reading Contest, which began on October 21st, is continuing through mid-March. A special congratulations goes out to 8th grader Charles Mueller-Thompson, who was the first student to read all 10 books and pass the test. So he completed that very quickly. And I know I heard on the announcements this morning they had another student that finished it too, but I don't remember who it was. So at the end of first quarter, middle school also had their first PBIS celebration, recognizing students who consistently demonstrate Tiger traits of respect, responsibility, and pride. Celebration include watching a movie in the newly renovated theater. So that was a fun thing for the kids to get to experience that. Additionally, they have reopened the Tiger's Den on Friday afternoons, where students can purchase snacks and drinks with Tiger bucks that they earned by exhibiting Tiger traits throughout the year. I know they were working on finding some healthy different things for the Tiger's Den, and they were excited to find some things the kids are excited about that meet the health guidelines as well. So that was a bit more of a challenge than what we were maybe thinking it might be. They found some fun things. That's a good incentive for kids. High school, Brian's got a number of things he shared. First thing, Term 1 concluded on Friday, November 1st. At the conclusion of Term 1, student performance data revealed the following. The average percentage of students passing their classes in all grades improved as compared to the previous 2 school years. Our ninth grade students are passing classes at a lower rate than the previous 2 cohorts, but students in grades 10, 11, and 12 are performing better than they were at this point last year. So a lot of positive things going on there. On Tuesday, October 29th, the High School Honor Society hosted its annual blood drive. 62 students and staff signed up to donate. At the end of the day, over 40 units of blood were collected. On Monday, November 4th, the high school concert choir, grades 11 and 12, traveled to Redwood Falls to participate in the Big South Choral Festival. The festival accumulates in a performance that involves 4 parts: individual school performances, a 30-minute clinic with a guest conductor, an honor choir, and a mass choir. So it was a fun day for our choir students. He also shares that on Monday, November 11th, we ran an altered schedule in recognition of Veterans Day. Realize the importance of that event is to help students learn, reflect, and understand the sacrifices that so many Americans have and continue to make so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we have. At the ALC, Dan shares some highlights in enrollment numbers. As of the 12th of November, the current ALC enrollment is 52 students with 34 in person and 18 in Marshall Online. On November 8th, they took 18 of their students to Major Madness at SMSU, an event sponsored by the college and Midwest with the purpose of inviting first-generation college students. I know that was well received by our students. We've done that a couple of years now. He also shares that the current CTI enrollment for first semester is at 39, with 13 of those students being in the CNA program. So our numbers are good in those classes as well. SPED, Jackie highlights a different area of under the SPED department each month. This time she's talking about life skills and social skills classes. They focus on activities such as organizing, cleaning, stocking, and assisting staff and families with finding items in the kindness closet. Some of the special ed students are paired with general ed peers to foster connections. Through those interactions, students are developing empathy, patience, and ability to collaborate with individuals who may be different from themselves. They're also learning to appropriate social skills and on-task behaviors. Both of those groups are getting valuable relationships, and it's a real life skill at learning with that kindness closet. It's been a really good thing to have at the middle school. They also share that the Sunshine Committee at the high school has enlisted the support of some special ed students by giving them the responsibility of helping in creating, making, and assisting with monthly staff mailbox notes. So these are notes of encouragement and appreciation that the kids write. They have to go through a quality management process, and then they take the completed items and put them in the staff mailboxes. Those have been fun for staff to receive. The final thing she highlights there is a coffee cart the middle school our students have started running. It happens 2 days a week. Staff can fill out a form. They select a desired beverage and snack of their choice. The students prepare and serve those drinks and snacks. They also practice good manners, engage in conversations, counting money, making change. A lot of these are goals that these students have within their IEPs, and just having that opportunity to do real life skills with that has been good, and it's fun for staff to have the students come in and serve some things as well. They also go shopping prior to that, so we'll see a shopping cart show up in our office on the days that they're going to get things, and they pick up items and supply their things. They have to figure out how much of each item they need, and it's really been another fun project for our students. In her report this month, Mary Kay shares that the crisis team is meeting every other month as a full group. On the off months, the small groups meet as committees with 4 categories of work for the 24-25 school year. They include cybersecurity and incident response, emergencies during non-traditional school hours, so thinking about when there's an event taking place after school, are we prepared for those? Maintenance and update of standardized procedures is every year, and also some additional professional development this year. Activities, this will not come as a surprise. We had a lot of things to share this month. It's really been an exciting month for our activities department. He says, we have been fortunate to have an amazing fall in our activities department with 3 Big South championships, 1 district championship, 6 teams winning or placing second in the section, 1 state runner-up, and 1 state champion. Congratulations to all programs on a successful campaign. I'm going to highlight a few that he calls out. Cross country, both the boys and girls cross country advanced to state this season. The girls took 8th with Caitlin Liebfried leading the way as top finisher in 22nd place, and the boys team brought home the championship title, with Sam Deitz finishing strong in 9th place. That started a couple weeks of tournaments for us. Girls swimming recently completed their season. The program sent both Autumn Deitz and Finley Pels to the state meet. They both did very well at that, represented Marshall very well. Volleyball took 2nd place at the high school league state tournament. Congratulations to Avery Fall, Reese Drake, and Brooke Gillingham for being named to the all-tournament team. And also thanks to everyone that was able to attend and support that team. They felt a really good turnout for those events. Football, for the first time in a while, we made state semifinals and fell to Becker at US Bank last week. We had a really good turnout for that game as well. So it was a lot going on. We had a lot of high school kids up attending and just supporting Marshall and representing our district well at all of those different events. He also calls out robotics. We are still seeking our next robotics coach. They're changing the program a bit, moving away from FIRST Robotics to VEX. Anyone who's interested in this probably knows what that means. An advantage of VEX is the competitions are more local and allow for smaller teams to be competitive. So anyone with interest in learning more about that, we are seeking a robotics coach. I heard Bill Swope is retiring. I don't know, maybe he's interested in robotics. Activities Department also wants to extend gratitude to all the support staff who make events possible. This fall, we hosted 46 varsity events, and none of it would have been possible without dedicated ticket takers, scorekeepers, line judges, officials, and many others. It takes a lot of people to make these events happen. And as soon as fall season is over, winter season has started, and we got some practices starting tonight, and some scrimmages and stuff have already started with winter events. So it goes straight from one to another, and those volunteers and those extra workers for the events are very much appreciated. Director of Teaching and Learning, Beth, shares in her report that our first advisory committee meeting for the year is next week on the 26th. That committee has parents, faculty members, students, staff, people on it. This first meeting will be reviewing the Comprehensive Achievement and Civic Readiness Plan, the CACR, gathering feedback. That plan is what replaces what was previously the World's Best Workforce Plan. Also shares that November 27th, next week, is a noon dismissal for students, and we have professional development in the afternoon for all of our licensed staff. So all the staff doing the OLA training, we've talked about that a number of times this year with the state reading training. That first live session takes place next week, so that'll be fun for teachers to get some feedback from the state on that. Finance, I'm getting near the end. Finance says we've launched a United Way campaign that's running for 6 weeks. Employees have an opportunity to support United Way, and also this year we've added an opportunity for staff to donate to Pride and the Tiger through payroll deductions. And she also shares just a little budget update with you. With planning the fiscal year 25 budget, we did expect a general fund deficit of just over $1 million. Across all funds, that planned deficit is $766,000. So far through October, the general fund revenues have exceeded expenses by $256,000. She does just highlight that to share that is anticipated because those last couple months of summer, we don't have the staffing expenses. So it looks really good right now, but it's what we were anticipating. We were kind of on track with budget things this year. Sarah has been watching things very closely and just watching ins and outs in every account, trying to stay on top of those, knowing that we're in this deficit year this year. We are having a number of regular conversations regarding potential future budget planning. That process will, of course, involve board, admin team, and other stakeholders as we look for some input with staff listening sessions for next year. Just what do we do going forward with that budget situation? Sarah also shares that both she and Trish are at the MREA conference today and tomorrow. Attending some breakout sessions, learning about rural referendums, mastering school finance. I know they were both really looking forward to the different things they can learn there as they're starting these new roles. Tricia has a couple highlights. There's some legislation that creates a reimbursement mechanism for districts transporting to and from a state-approved ALC. In order to be considered for that funding, you have to submit an application. And Tricia said, I'm thrilled to report we have been awarded the full requested amount of $133,222.36. So that's new funding that we did not have previously. So that will certainly help our budget situation. She also shares that Taher chef Tony Menk is visiting the middle school this Wednesday and Southview this Thursday. He's serving Moroccan chicken wings at the middle school and peach crisp at Southview Elementary. Board members, she says if you have interest in meeting Chef Tony or trying a sample of those items, please reach out and let her know, and she will arrange time for you to try those different things that he's going to be making. There's always a fun event. He comes once or twice a year to do something like that. Finally, with the approval of the 25 budget, you did authorize purchase of a new truck in the Maintenance and Grounds Department. We had ordered that. We took delivery of that truck about a week ago. That replaces our 1999 GMC Sierra, which it is time to retire that 99 GMC Sierra. Last week we picked up that new, it's a Dodge Ram 3500 we got from Lockwood Motors. We're getting the snow equipment on because unfortunately it looks like we're gonna need that sooner than later. Unfortunately, we also recently had another district maintenance truck that was involved in an accident. No one was injured in the accident, but the truck was a total loss. So we are working with the insurance company to settle the claim on that, and we will need to replace that truck as well. So you'll see a couple new trucks. One was already in the budget, and one is an insurance claim with that. So we're working on those.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy. Our next item is discussion items, the second review of policies 901 to 907. Any questions or concerns on these?
And these were just review. There weren't really changes in any of these. So.
Okay. Next discussion item is our CACR goal summary. Another acronym to learn.
So Beth and I have been calling this the CACR because we'd seen it written out CACR, and then we realized we haven't heard anyone from the state call it the CACR. Only see it written CACR. So I'm going to call it the CACR tonight. Because it is a change from World's Best Workforce. So with the changes, really what I think prompted this was changes with reading. We used to have the all students reading well by third grade. That law is no longer in place, so that changed some of the goal areas for the state. We have gone through and revised our plan, updating with the new goal areas for the CACR. We have the plan ready. We're just sharing with you this afternoon. The summary pieces from last year are due by November 30th, and then this will be our goals for the next year. When we write these align directly to goals that are in site improvement plans and strategic plans. So it's not something necessarily new in here. It's data that we already have, just how we meet these different goal areas using that. So 5 goal areas. The first one is all students ready for school. That is the preschool readiness. Our preschool goal, we look at our VPK students proficient in language and literacy standards using the work sampling online as assessment given specifically to early childhood students and measures that they're ready for kindergarten. Each year we write that based off of the previous year's data, looking for an increase in the next year. So that goal will maintain the same process we used before. Goal 2 is close the achievement gap. In that area, we look at students free and reduced qualifying students versus compared to non-free and reduced price lunch qualifying students, and how they've performed on the MCA tests in reading and in math, trying to close that gap by increasing proficiency in both subgroups. So if the gap gets smaller because one group does better or does worse or something like that, that wouldn't offset that. So we'll continue goals there in reading and in math. All students career and college ready by graduation. This area 3 has existed for a while. We are changing how we measure that goal. We previously measured it using a survey that was given to high school kids or high school students during ramp up for readiness. What we were finding is while we were meeting that goal every year, it probably wasn't really measuring growth for our students or measuring really are they going to graduate on time. So our goal in that area this year is looking at the percentage of students with fall and spring reading MAP scores, so NWA scores. Are they meeting their projected growth targets? So saying that's where we bring that reading piece back in. If students are growing in reading, we know that's an important area to the state and to the board, and certainly in the district, it's an area we keep working on. So that's how we're going to measure career and college ready. And it includes students across the entire district. So that is a change in our plan. Goal 4 is all students graduate. For the past couple years, and Brian reports on this in his board report monthly, the percentage of students passing classes as compared to the previous cohort in both first and second semester. with the ninth grade target being based off of a 3-year average. So we're going to continue that goal. The new goal area in goal 5 is prepare students to be lifelong learners. That's a goal area that was not in the previous plan. So really they replaced the reading goal with the lifelong learners goal. Admin team spent some time talking about this. What's important, what's data that we have, what's data that makes sense to measure, and is really going to make a difference for our students. And what we are working on this year, what we're proposing is a goal around student attendance. Specifically students who are meet the federal definition of chronically absent, which is missing 10% or more of the school year. We are seeing higher absentee rates than we've ever seen previous to COVID. We've pulled a lot of data, looked at pre-COVID numbers, looking over the COVID years, and looking post-COVID, and those numbers are high. So we want to address that and dig into that a little bit. So this goal, we took the 23-24 baseline. In the goal, you'll see a baseline for each of our 5 main sites. Our CTI students are accounted for in one of the other sites because they come from either the high school or ALC. One of the resources that we found in our research and are working on this is Attendance Works. It's what's called. It's an area that really digs into addressing student attendance. And a challenge they have proposed to schools is looking at reducing, it's 50 and 5 or something. I'm drawing a blank now exactly how they phrase it, but it's reducing your chronically absent percentage by 50% over 5 years. So we took our last year baseline goal and set annual targets to reduce that percentage by site by 50% over 5 years, and then targeting some very specific interventions that could be through our MTSS process, through the BAR process. Some of those, like Pete mentioned his report this month, looking at the U-Time activities, just really building relationships with students and conversation with families. Family engagement will be a big piece of that. How do we encourage families to come? We heard our parent student connectors talk tonight about attendance being a concern. How do we engage families and get students to be here on time and in class, because we know that they will perform better in school and be more prepared for life after school if we work on attendance. So that's a new goal area that we're kind of excited to dig into a little bit. We've talked about it, admin team. Last spring we talked about a lot. This summer we worked on a lot over retreat, and now we have a goal area that is part of our plan going forward. So Emily put a summary up on the board. I read through the summary. The whole plan is 15 pages or something, 18 pages long. You're welcome to read all the words. It's really exciting. Beth and I put a lot of time into that plan, but I'm not going to read you the whole plan this evening. So those I don't need necessarily approval. I just want to share with the board what we're working on. Those are things that we will continue to work on throughout this next year. And then that summary report is always due in the fall with a new plan by the end of the calendar year.
What caused the change to go from the world's best workforce to this? Do you have any idea?
I think it was around the reading changes. That's when they rolled this out, because they changing the training, the science of reading expectations of state, the training, and all the data collected around that. So the read well by third graders isn't a thing because it's all kids reading well. So the read well by third grade goal disappeared. So that's when this changed. And rather than just dropping a goal, they changed one goal area.
Very
Good
good.
work. Thank you.
Any other questions for Jeremy? If not, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.